All right, I finally think it's time that we get a rebound. What we're seeing is a current rebound within SPY off of the 20 MA. When I tell you this brought a tear in my eye, it was pretty incredible because we've been suffering ever since. And yes, it doesn't look like much, but trust me, it felt like a lot. That being said, I'm going to go over a couple stocks that I'm looking at, and depending on the data we get, right, mark this down, Wednesday, CPI, and then from the 24th to 25th, we're going to be expecting the policy changes with the Fed. All right, so that week could get a little volatile, and possibly Wednesday is going to get pretty bad. Tuesday could see a possible sell-off at the end of the day. Did I call it? I don't know. We'll find out. That being said, we could day trade this. A lot of volatility. This is the time to make money in the market, and these are the stocks that I'm looking at, and I see a lot of potential long-term wise. And even short-term, we could see very nice bounces. Right now, we're going to see a lot of relief rallies. A lot of stocks been hammered a lot, and we're going to go over only 4 today that I'm checking out. That being said, if you do find any value in these videos, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And we're going to start this off looking at Square. And one thing I do want to talk about is we had a nice close above the SMA line where we touched it and we saw a nice volume to come support it back upwards, creating a nice hammer so far. So with this TA, we're going to do some resistance and support. And right now we're going to mark it over here for you guys so you guys can see when to be careful where we're going to see these kind of rejections and support levels. So this is pretty much good for right now because, to be honest, it's going to take a lot of time before we get up here unless there's some crazy news, which I don't see happening right now. But I'm still pretty much bullish on Square. Okay, so nice bounce off of the SMA. We saw volume today, which is very important. Let's get into the daily chart. And we had a good close above the previous candle. So right here, as you guys can see, we closed above it. And we could continue upwards to test the 9 MA. So we might see some rejection around that 150 level, that 153, which is fine. I do think we're going to see a good rally upwards. And a close above 159, 160 would honestly be a very nice close if this week is bullish, depending on how the CPI data goes. That being said, keep an eye out for Square. The stock has been killed. Look at the RSI, just non-stop selling off. And let's get into the 4-hour real quick. See if we could do something right here. What am I seeing? So I'm going to draw a trend line. And right now, we're seeing a nice channel in the making. This is currently where we're... Yeah, let's get this going. This might look better on a daily. I'm sorry. Let me put it back here. All right. So this is the current trend we're in, where we're bouncing up and down these trend lines. Today we saw a good bounce over here, and we might continue to see that rejection around this level right here, which would be about the 150 to 155. We're going to see a lot of resistance. Hopefully there's good volume, and as you guys can see today, look at this volume compared to Friday's was disgusting. Today we did really well. So keep an eye out for Square. We might see a good rally, and come Square, comes PayPal. I didn't do too much TA on this one. I didn't want to overreact to it. So far, it's not doing too bad. So if you follow Square, it pretty much moves the same as PayPal. And we could be expecting the same type of movement. If we get this relief rally, honestly, it all comes down to the CPI that we get. If CPI is bad, then everything's going to go down. If it's good, the market's going to be pretty much bullish. We're going to see really nice rallies on these stocks because they've been beaten down so hard. The one thing you want to keep your eye out for is the 10-year yield. That's going to show whether or not growth stocks are going to do well or not. If the 10-year yield goes up, then growth stocks normally go down a lot. So you want to see if it plummets on CPI day, if it starts going downwards, you start seeing it, rotate down. That's going to be really good to get into growth stocks and start going long. If it starts to spike up and stay up, then we could continually see more pain in the market. That being said, if you follow Square, it's basically the same thing as PayPal. They move about the same. We saw a nice bounce over the bottom over here in good volume again. We did make a lower low. However, it's important how we close on a day. And as you guys can see, the bulls came in. They pushed the wick all the way upwards, creating a nice bullish hammer where we could see a good reversal only if we get that good CPI news, like I said, coming Wednesday. Next is going to be NVDA. And hopefully we could type it right. Looking at the daily chart, again, another nice candle good volume on the day. And right now we're seeing some rejections around these levels here, which is no problemo. Let's get this one over here. This is pretty much the channel we're trading in right now. Can this go down here to fill the gap? It's very possible. And I don't see it happening unless we get that bad CPI. And the reason why I say that is because there's so many bulls in NVIDIA right now where it's very hard to get the stock to go downwards. A lot of people keep continuously buying the dip on it, and it will get bought up very fast as long as the market rotates upwards. So I'd say be careful. I think this could easily pop upwards again without testing or closing that gap just yet. And it looks like we closed the gap over here today, which is very nice. So could it happen? It's possible. Again, it comes down to what the Fed is going to do with the interest rates and whatnot. Keep an eye out for NVIDIA. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart, see if we see anything. And again, just a nice bounce above the previous support of the channel. And we might see a continuation back upwards. And comes NVIDIA, comes AMD. And, these are basically trading the same. And we're seeing the same type of movements. And, we could capitalize on either or. So whichever one you like the most, just go with that one. And that being said, AMD, same thing. Nice bounce today. And like I said, these stocks are basically moving the same. Keep an eye out for both of them. We saw a nice bounce above this 20 MA on the weekly, which is very good. And, we could continue upwards. But again, I'm just going to close this video off by saying, keep an eye out for Wednesday. CPI data, see how the 10-year yield responds, how the market reacts to it. And then that's going to dictate whether or not you want to go long within the next week or two before the Fed meeting where the market could start getting choppy again. That being said, I'm going to end it there. If you made it this far, hit the like, hit the sub, and I'm going to peace out.